please. Now, I know, first of all, if anybody here are fans
Fucking
of
believable.
Last Week with John Oliver on HBO, I encourage you, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube, to go and look at his episode.
I know, she's a pain in the ass. But, why if you lay your hand on her
you know, Tucker
ever again, I'll run you over with this goddamn frog.
That milk-toast fucking smirk says I've never worked an hourly gig in my life. Minimum wage. What the fuck is that? What? Never even heard of it. What's that? So Tucker comes from money, but he doesn't come from a little money. Tucker comes from a lot of money. His family is of the swarm thing, TV dinners, fame. Now, I don't know how much them Swans and TV dinners did, but I bet you Tucker didn't have to take out a loan to go to college. I bet you every time Tucker had to go to the hospital.
We got one shot at this.
He was not
Let's be honest. Anyone who follows me out there today is probably gonna die.
And
And we'll all be home for Christmas.
So it's
How do I keep getting myself into this shit?
Back there. Last commentary for the motherfucker who has never left his class. The upper class.
Right there. Right there.
Tucker, what they say? One for the hit triple. This nigga is the moral curve. So he was something like, many newsrooms would look at me as an ally. That is quite laughable. Tunde, if we could please, let's just take, this is very quick, y'all. F3, just to give y'all an idea of the range of different media outlets that have hired Tucker Carlson, featured him prominently, and given him his own program. Future of our nation in their hands. And it was under that terrifying now it's very, very video absolutely. You're got to be kidding me. You're on CNN saying the show that leads into me is puppets making crank phone calls.
Need to fix the purifier.
What's the point, huh? The truck is fucked.
Worry about that later. Let's reseal the door.
Don't go out there. Just wait for me.
And judging by the level that he put into that little shit piece that he did on me, calling me a Black Lives Matter activist. Thankfully, this is what procrastination looks like. I have been remiss in joining an organization. So again, sir, citation needed. Where are you getting your information? You just get to make shit up. Because you have this wonderful, ginormous platform to achieve broadcast.
You picked a great time to show up.
remain overwhelmingly white, and as you guys have seen, there's the evidence, the small bit of evidence, because there's a lot more evidence out there of the levels of mediocrity that Tucker Carlson is when it comes to performing his job and his due diligence as a journalist. Partisan hack is what Jon Stewart called him. Later in that same interview, he called him a dick. And really, John was being oh so polite. I am not here to be so polite. But the simple fact that that privileged, rich fucker had the audacity to try to sick the fucking FBI on me. Let me explain something to you, Chief. The FBI come knock on my door, me and you got a problem. we got a problem. Because that is white peopling at almost the highest level of white peopling you can do. Calling the police on black people minding their business is one thing. Calling the whole ass feds, oh my goodness, sir. And as I mentioned, that is a deflection.
All right, let's try this
again. Tucker is probably under investigation by the feds for his dealing with Matt Gaetz. Because I'm telling you, I feel as though Matt Gaetz was no-key threat to Tucker in that clip. Like, Tucker, I'm sure you'll remember my guest, right? The one who was all getting creepy with your wife. You remember her, right? You was, you was standing behind her. And I mean, like, come on, bro. We see you for exactly what you are. You are below average. You have white men snoop your way up to the top. And that's the only issue that somebody like you can happen in America. I can assure you, the time that you want to MSNBC, brigade, and you trying to hold me down right now, man. We ready for Scrotum Phase 2, then let's go.
Is considered an ally. Who's the threat? It's people who didn't vote for Joe Biden. They must be hounded into submission by the American news media.
And of course, again, Tucker Carlson is showing that basic Google eludes him. He's showing that basic research apparently eludes its entire staff. Because on this channel, Burning Down with Tim Brown, several videos have the name Joe Biden in them. And if any of these lazy, privileged hacks have even taken 10 minutes out of their schedule to prepare and research, but again, these things are not required. How terrible they are. channel of, at the time, 14 or 1,500 subscribers, because he knows that he has the privilege. He knows that he can spend his troll army of millions to call me every ghetto, whore, cunt, bitch, terrorist, moron, idiot. These people are rather creative. Actually, they're not creative because I've been called cunt too many times. I'm like, y'all need a new word. Y'all need a new word. White men, racist white men, not my friendly white men who support this program, but the racist white men need a whole new word besides the C.U.N.T word, but I digress. So what's happening is Tucker Carlson is trying to shut us down, y'all. You want to talk about cancel culture? Tucker Carlson can't name a person in his sphere who has been impacted by cancel culture, right? Not one. Maybe one. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein. But if that was his homeboy, again, birds and feathers, says quite a lot of bit about Tucker Carlson. But people like me get canceled all the fucking time. People like me get canceled before you ever even get a chance to hear of us. And that is exactly what Tucker Carlson is trying to do, trying to wield his big bully pulpit against little old me, which again is very telling because there are a lot of people with higher profiles, higher platforms, higher follower counts who would love to engage in a fight with Tucker Carlson. But apparently, he doesn't want it with them. He wants it with me. He wants the feds to come to my house. He wants his troll army to report my videos for terrorism. Nigga, as if his whole audience is junior terrorists. His whole audience is full of people who support the actions on January 6th as the first action. It was all terrorists, right?
This Sunday, after the verdict, the country exhaled.
I feel good.
But does Derek Chauvin's guilty verdict indicate real change? Or was it an isolated, high-profile event? The jury did its job. my son's case. He's right. Situation with
talked about this. I think the verdict was just. I think it was correct. It was right. But here's the thing, Charlie. 6 black people lost their lives at the hands of police after the verdict. So what does that suggest? We now hear that Merrick Garland and the DOJ will come in to do another investigation. But they did one in 2015.
That's why I believe the Justice Department will, in its investigation, probably find patterns and practices of unconstitutional policing, and it's very likely Minneapolis will be as well. Now, in our makeover, it is because the system is bad. Everything from recruitment to hiring to training to policies to practice and protocols, supervision, technology, all of it. And then here's what happens with good apples. And I think Trevor was talking about where are the good apples. We have to have peer intervention. We have a peer intervention program in Baltimore, as we did in New Orleans, where we teach officers how to step in front of their colleagues when a bad act is about to happen. And what we need is for more good officers to step up without being retaliated against and without being punished for having stepped up to do the right thing to prevent those bad things from happening. And that's what we've been advocating for, and that's what every department should be looking at. There's a wonderful program called ABLE, Active Bystandership for Law Enforcement. I taught at Georgetown University, but many departments are moving in that direction.
I guess the question Senator Klobuchar is going to be is can everybody get to yes on the George Floyd Police Reform Act? Here's Senator Tim Scott offering a compromise on the issue of qualified immunity. I want to get your reaction to it on the other side.
There is a way to put more of the onus of the burden on the department or on the employer than on the employee. I think that is a logical step forward. It's something that the Democrats will be quite receptive to.
I'm curious, answer the question actually, both in terms of, first of all, does that help compromise? But you were a former prosecutor. Is that an effective change?
First of all, we don't know what Senator Scott exactly is proposing. Those are just interviews. I want to see the language. Senator Booker is leading the negotiations on this bill, and I have so much faith in him to get to something meaningful. Every one of us on this panel in our different ways knows, and we say, okay, let's
constant effort. Any
Completely outweigh the risks, even for younger
All these statistics I've read seems to reinforce that point you just said about how rare it is for this to happen. Can you give viewers a layman's comparison here? What is a common drug that's
Oh
out
man,
there
what's that I'm listening to? Just news on YouTube.
Be at higher risk of this than you would with the standard vaccine? For a Democratic administration-led administration to try to convince these Republicans to do this. What are some of the efforts you guys are thinking about that might sort of depoliticize this?
Well, it is a really important issue. But we're all in this together. We're going to be able to put COVID-19 behind us. We need to have all Americans take part in getting us to that point. I think maybe one of the things we can do is to change the conversation a little bit. I think maybe there's been too much finger wagging. I've done some of that. I'm going to try and stop and listen back to what people's specific questions are. And also, Chuck, try to emphasize the positives that people experience who go through vaccination, as I have and as my wife has. We were able to invite another people to come to our house and take off our masks because they were immunized as well, and have a normal conversation and hug each other at the end. That was so liberating. When we're vaccinated, you're missing out on that chance to live. Before I dive into the questions, which should all be available via timestamps